reveals what's on the inside of you. Definitely come. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. I'm going to give an opportunity for some people to come in and join today. So thank you so very much for being here. And I want to start out. I know some people are watching. It's been a pleasure and an honor to help coach people. I've had some people actually walk up to me that I never expected would be watching Unbreakable. I want to thank you for watching. Look, please leave a comment, put a thumbs up, uh, leave a question, or mention something that may have been helpful, or leave a question in terms of something you may want to know more about. Um, this weekend, I had opportunity to speak at the Kings and Priests Conference. It was amazing. There were black men, white men, brown men in a room together, uh, working on business, networking, and coming together to be able to support and accelerate during these times and during this season. And it was so refreshing to see that. And we need to do more of that. And so I was really happy to be a part of that movement. And when I got on stage, I was one of the panelists, which was a privilege and an honor. So thank you, Kings and Priests, for allowing me to be able to be on the stage. And the question was really, how do you deal with pressure in the line of work I do? I coach. I've been a head coach. I've played college ball. I've been injured. Uh, I had a breakup of a family. I mean, and I've had to deal with court costs. And you want to talk about some pressure? I know exactly what that entails. And as we go through this journey together, the whole goal of Unbreakable is equipping people with tools, skill sets, mind shifts to be able to deal, not only to deal with it, but deal with it successfully, effectively, and to continue to elevate. And so I'm going to share a couple of things today of what I spoke about at the conference. But before I get started, I had one of my coaches reach out to me. I want to call his name out, Coach B.L.E.K.A.B.L.E from Michigan State University, where I play ball at. Thank you, Coach B.L.E.K.A.B.L.E. He sent me one of his books that he wrote, Winning Words of a Champion. And let me tell you, it was some powerful stuff in there. And Coach B.L.E.K.A.B.L.E, he was running backs coach, one of my coaches, and he had done coach college, coach high school, coach pro, and has gone around the world speaking. He's a radio personality for football analyst. And it was an honor to have him reach out to me, Coach. Yes, let's collaborate. I would love to do that with you so that we can get tools and equipment to people um, on the field, transitioning to off the field, because that's a lot of breakdown um, in athletics. And it just doesn't have to be in athletics. It's just in transition is where you can have a lot of breakdown at. So thank you again for the book, Winning Words of a Champion. I'll reach out to you. Scott Belot, it was a pleasure to speak with you as well. It was good to hear you, buddy. So thank you for that. And so at this conference, they asked me what pressure was, and I kind of gave an overview. But today I'm going to give 3 coaching points for it. But the overview, whenever we experience pressure, it's really going to show what our foundation is made up of. Now, it's not a bad thing if our foundation is rocky or isn't on strong ground. It's really an opportunity for us to get ready to accept an increase, because pressure exposes what you need to work on. Pressure is going to have whatever's on the inside of you come out. And really, I've learned to dance and celebrate when pressure comes on, because it's really an opportunity to say, what do I need to study? What do I need to adjust? What do I need to learn? What is God trying to show me so that I can prepare for this next level of increase? And it has always been an increase, but I've always had to do an action. So the first coaching point I kind of want to be able to talk about today is pressure. It reveals who you are. It doesn't make who you are. It reveals what's on the inside of you. And I'm working engineering too today, so y'all be a little patient with me. Here we go. And so, whenever you're dealing with any type of stress or adversity, they always say that that's what builds character, but that's really not true. It exposes what's been on the inside of you. And one of the main things that we need to take a focus and a look at is whatever's been coming out of us, whatever we've been doing in private, pressure is going to expose it. So let me give you an example. If you go to take a test and you fail that test, and you got some pressure because you haven't studied for that test, guess what? That showed what you was doing in your private time. You wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing. And as a result of that, you failed this test. And so, and sometimes you may have worked hard and studied for a test, but you needed to do more than just that. I took my life insurance test. It took me 3 times to pass that test. But I'm gonna tell you, I stayed at that thing. I had to study more. I'm not really a test taker. I'm more of a paper writer, and so it took me 3 times in order to get my license. But I didn't let that one time that I failed. It just showed that I needed to do more. I needed to do longer. I needed to write more. I needed to rehearse more, and so that's what I did. And I actually ended up getting my license, and so I was really happy about that. And so just understand that whatever you do in the game, it doesn't show your talent. It really shows what you've been training for. And sometimes you need to put your talent and what you've been training for out there, but you don't want to put it out there because you really haven't trained like you're supposed to. You just been kind of toying with that thing. And so, in order to go to the next level, go ahead and train. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail forward. I started doing this podcast. Let me tell you, everything that went wrong could have went wrong. It's getting better. I can navigate the system a lot better. I can engineer. I can put music on, flash, answer. I can do some things, but it took me some repetition in order to be able to do that. And it's the same way with everything that you do: increase relationships, business, jobs, your children. It's the same pattern. So don't think it's a microwave success. It's not. Put the work in and you won't regret it. And coaching point number 2 is pressure is a privilege if you use it right. And whenever you're dealing with some pressure, it's just proof that you're in a position to experience something very meaningful. A lot of times, there are people who don't mind doing the same thing every day, all day in a routine, because that makes them comfortable. But you have to understand, anything that's valuable is not really comfortable. Look at diamonds. Diamonds are performed under pressure. Whenever you avoid pressure, you really are avoiding being strengthened. And so look at pressure as a privilege. It's just a way to say, okay, I'm in a great line to receive something great. I love that. What do I need to prepare for? And start preparing for it. Don't run from it. Learn how to breathe under the pressure, because sometimes pressure make you breathe different. When them bills come, or you living from check to check, or you get that notice on your door that says you got 24 hours or 72 hours, and you trying to figure out what to do. Look, work on your breathing. That's the first thing you got to do, is work on your breathing, so that you can start regulating your mentalities, and then celebrate and say, okay, look, I'm lining up for increase. So let me see what I need to prepare on. What do I need to study? What do I need to read? Who do I need to ask questions to? And go ahead and attack that thing. And then coaching point number 3, the third coaching point is regulate the internal, not the external. A lot of times we can't control if somebody doesn't want us on their job anymore. We can't control down grading at work or change in the workforce. We can't change that. We can't change when we think in sports or athletics, whether you're a guy or a girl, you should be playing more, you should be playing a different position. We can't change those things. Those are external factors. Those are the company's decision. Those are the owner's decision. Those are the uh, uh, the job, and those particular things you just have no control over. But the one thing that you do have control over is your own temperature on the inside of you. That's what you need to work on controlling, so that when that pressure comes, you can control that particular thing, and then begin to show up, work on your breathing, and being able to figure out, okay, what do I need to develop? What self-awareness type of things do I need to work on? Do I need to work on my communication skills? Do I need to work on my leadership skills? Do I need to work on my AI skills? And despite all the noise and all the negative stuff, you have to get around some people that's using tools that's helping them elevate, not the person next to you who's in the same situation you in. That's not going to really help your situation. Good friends, but not the next level friends, or 5 level up type friends, or great counsel. All you have to do is get plugged into the right situation. And that's where coaching comes in. Everybody who does great things have coaches. I look at Tiger Woods, I look at Michael Jordan, you take a look at there's bowling coaches, you just all the people, on football team, there's quarterback coaches, running back coaches, position coaches. When you look in a company, they have mentor programs, they have internships. That's what that's about. It's getting you prepared to go into the workforce. And so don't be afraid of coaching. You need a relationship coach, you need a mindset coach, you need a money coach. And so these type of things really will help you to elevate and be able to perform under that pressure. And then just understand that elite minds don't panic. They prepare, they pause, then they perform. Hey, look, happy Monday, everybody. We're going to be working on some changes this week. We're going to move to a 5 a.m. slot so that people can get these tips and figure out. Hopefully, we're able to help some people. They can listen to us on the way to work while they're getting ready. My daughter, hey, Kiera, she said that she listened to a podcast every morning, and I was really happy to hear her say that. And she said, Dad, you should do that. You should go on every morning. And I said, So I did a little research, and she was right. The young folk not always wrong, uh, but they have some great ideas, very smart, very innovative. And so we're going to be moving to 5 a.m. in the morning. And so we're going to be preparing this week to be able to do that sort of thing. And with that being said, I want everybody to have a happy week. Figure out what pressure you need to deal with, or what pressures are you dealing with. Find out what tools you need. And please put a thumbs up if this is helpful. Share this information. ask a question because I have access to all types of tools and I've collected them over the last 35 years. And it's tools that I think are number one tools that help people that I've watched, that I've tested, that I've used. So to me, they're number one, and those that use them always get results. And that's my time, everybody. Have a happy week, and